Welcome to Motorcycle Ways. Today I'm taking a look at adjusting the preload on the Honda CB 500X. So why might you want to adjust the preload? Well, you could be carrying luggage and maybe a pillion, and therefore you'll have a lot of weight on the bike, so you need to compensate for that. So by adjusting the preload on the rear suspension, you would have a harder suspension and it would be more capable of carrying that load and getting better performance out on the road when you come across the usual obstacles like potholes and bumps and that. So on the other side of it is you might not be carrying a pillion and you might have no luggage. You could be going solo, so then you're going to be a lot lighter, so that's going to be a different setting again. So you can adjust it. It's quite relatively easy to adjust the preload on the suspension. So we'll take a look at that now and how you can do it. So there is a special tool for adjusting the preload on the rear shock, and you usually can find that with your toolkit. Normally there's a pouch under the seat with a few tools in it. So that's where you'll find it. So we'll just have a look now, take off the seat and see where it is. So with the seat off, here we can see the pouch with the tools in it, just left underneath here. So if we open this up, we should be able to get the tool in here for the job. So there it is. That's what we need for adjusting the preload. It's just a tool with a hook on the end of it basically. And we'll see how that works now in a minute. And as well as that, there's a little bit of leverage to go with it. Another piece that goes on the end there, like that. That gives you the leverage to turn it. So we'll take a look now at where we can get access to the rear suspension and make our adjustment. So on the Honda CB 500X, on the left hand side you can get into the shock here. There's a bit of a gap here, and if we just look in there, we can see the top of the shock there on the coil spring. So just on the top there, there's a collar, and you can see there pointing with the screwdriver, there's gaps, there's grooves in it. So that's where the tool goes in there, and the hook on the tool grabs on them, and you twist that around, and that's what adjusts the preload. And here you can see this collar here on top, where if you look here on the top of it, you can see there's grooves, and it's like different levels. So as you twist that around, it puts the tension onto the spring and tensions it more or lets it off, depending on which way you go. So we'll see now if we can get the tool in there to show you how to adjust it. So I think I have it in the groove there now, so just by turning it that way, that actually increases the load on the shock, so that puts more tension on the shock, which by turning that, looking in at the left hand side here, we're turning that to the right, so you're turning it really in an anti-clockwise direction. That puts a bit more load on the spring, so if you had extra weight on the bike, you'd bring it around to the right and let it off to the left then if you wanted, if you had no weight on the bike, if you were traveling solo and not much luggage. And you'd have a softer suspension then. So it's relatively easy to change the preload on it just by adjusting that. So it will make a big difference to traveling. So you can experiment with that and see how that works out. So that might be something you want to consider doing if you are maybe just not quite happy with the way the suspension is performing on the road at the moment, or maybe if you're on a lot of rough terrain or that type of thing and you want a better suspension. So, and you may have to change it back and forth and see, if sometimes you might be carrying luggage and a pillion, and more times you may not. So But it's relatively easy to change back and forth anyways. And you can see the difference that it'll make to the bike on the road. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'll get back to you. And take care out there on the road, and I'll see you on the next one.